Hello, welcome to Turf Talk on TV. I am Ramraj. We have in our studios celebrated cricket commentator and Padma Shri Professor Ravi Chaturvedi, aka Panditji.
Thank you.
Sir, you have covered cricket for almost 5 decades and almost seen the sea change the game has undergone. And at one time, cricket seemed to be a very restricted group of 6 or 8 countries, but that has been expanding over the years. And very recently, we have got Afghanistan and Ireland, the two new babies in Test cricket. So, what is your take and views on more such countries entering the field of Test cricket?
Well, Mr. Amraj, cricket started as a clash between the masters and the colony, that is Australia and England. South Africa joined the club in 1889, which was followed by the West Indies, New Zealand and India in 1926. So from Imperial Cricket Conference to International Cricket Conference and then International Cricket Council. In fact, a suggestion came from Maharaj Kumar of Vizianagaram when he was board president to name ICC as Commonwealth Cricket Conference.
Okay.
But people didn't like it anyway. Not many people know it, so I thought I must tell your
thank
viewers.
You, okay.
A great contribution of Maharaj Kumar of Vizianagaram, whom we all in commentary box knew as Vizi.
Vizi Trophy. Yeah.
Okay. So, after the dissolution of the empire, the erstwhile colonies, they had inherited the legacy of two, the language, English, and cricket. This was part of the legacy left behind by the erstwhile empire to the crown colonies. India, one of the component of the Crown Colony, India had already become a member of the international cricketing community in 1926. Of course, we played our test match in 1932. But after the grant of independence to the subcontinent, Pakistan was the first to join ICC in 51-52. India sponsored it. Then Sri Lanka became the member of ICC. Then Bangladesh became a member of ICC. Now, there's a very good feeling and there's a good move on the part of ICC to make cricket a global sport. So, to have more members join this elite club, which was restricted for quite some time to 10 members, is now expanding into a dozen. That is with the coming in of Afghanistan and Ireland. Now, in our subcontinent, cricket is a religion. You know, even people on the streets, the people in the field, the workers in the industry, in the factories, somehow for them the only means of entertainment is the sports cricket. And their hopes and aspirations are also lie with that. They have all connected it to the sports. They have bequeathed it to the sports, their happiness and their sorrow. And therefore, this game, the willow game, has become a mass game, despite poverty in this part of the world. Now, because of this, Sri Lanka in 80s came up and became a member of ICC. Bangladesh 2000 came up and became a member of ICC. So, in the Indian subcontinent, the cricket is a very popular game. That's why we have so many teams now from the Indian subcontinent. Yeah. Now, in Africa, because South Africa, which was then Zimbabwe, which was then known as Rhodesia, they used to play matches, the Currie Cup in South Africa. And South Africa at times used to play Currie Cup in Rhodesia at that time, now Zimbabwe. So they were encouraging cricket in that part of the world, and Zimbabwe also became a member of ICC later. It is good that the cricket is becoming a global sport by having more countries. But when you make them a member of the ICC, that is, they will start playing cricket with some of the, let me say, the mighty teams of the world, the top teams of the world, like
Yeah.
India or Australia or England. That will be the testing time for them to test their abilities against these top teams. Now, Bangladesh started, or Sri Lanka started badly, and at times, and even Zimbabwe has been,
Yes.
their fortunes have been fluctuating from crest to crown.
Yeah.
At times, the feeling has been in the cricketing circles that there should be two divisions, A division, B, the top teams in one division and another set of teams. But with the passage of time, say for example, Sri Lanka, initially they were, they were weak, they were struggling. But 1996, when the World Cup, they started the world cricketing world by winning the world championship in the 1996 World Cup. That provided an impetus for the growth, for the encouragement of youngsters to take to cricket. And today, Sri Lanka is one of the powerhouse of cricket. Only recently they have gone down because of the retirement of two great,
Yeah.
Maila Jayawardene and this
Jai Surya, Sangakara,
this Sangakkara. These two.
Muralidharan, the
Yeah.
bowler.
But there is no doubt there is a big talent in Sri Lanka even today. One very positive thing as an Indian I look at, when you look at Afghanistan, if you look at the broader perspective, India has been playing a very important role in the rebuilding of Pakistan politically, economically, and therefore the BCCI, for one, at least deserves a pat on the back for having backed Afghanistan to get into ICC, and again agreed to host them for the first test match.
Yeah.
This is a very encouraging thing I have done, and for this I will like to salute, I would like to the kudos to the BCCI for promoting Afghanistan. Another thing, also IPL. Now, some of them are getting opportunities to play in Pakistan Premier League. But here, in IPL, the competition is much stronger. And for Afghan players to play here is gainful in two ways, in terms of money and in terms of experience. So therefore, Afghanistan is a big gainer by playing in IPL, and therefore it's time for them that they should be given a break in the elite group of test playing countries. This is a very welcome move, I think.
Now, as you rightly said, Sri Lanka were struggling, and then there was a certain period when they really, after the World Cup win, they were considered as one of the topmost countries, and now a bit of a struggle, as you said, again, retirement. Similarly, how do you see Afghanistan cricket? They have Phil Simmons of West Indies as their coach, and they have done very well in the World Cup qualifying. They beat West Indies, and they have qualified for the second time for the World Cup, the next World Cup. So, how do you look at this team coming up in the future, sir?
There's one point which should not be sidetracked. It's a war-torn country. Imagine for very prolonged period, and I'm starting from where? The Russian occupation. I'm just politically trying to go back into times. Departure of Russians, the Taliban take over. The Taliban throw over, the democratic regime comes in. But throughout this period, even now, this is not a peaceful country. Still strife is there. Every day there is a terror attacks and so on. In these trying circumstances, under such trial and tribulations, these youngsters have played this game, enjoyed this game, and have come up to the stature where they have beaten a mighty West Indies team in the qualifier. I mean, they deserve a lot of credit for this. because they were playing against heavy odds. Therefore, this means that these youngsters who are playing for Afghanistan, they have a fire in their belly that they would like to do well in cricket. And I am sure this urge to do well, just to showcase their talent in another form, I think Afghanistan should be able to do well at the international level in cricket.
Now, coming to Phil Simmons as a coach, see, this is a debate not only for Afghanistan, most of the countries too, especially in the Indian subcontinent. We are looking at a native player as a coach, a foreign player as a coach. Now, this Phil Simmons being a coach, you think has had a very positive impact. But on the other side, also, how would we be able to communicate with players? Would that be a kind of a problem?
This is a very relevant point. Look, my very close association with West Indies. They speak the same English which we speak, but their accent is very different. And you will be surprised to know in 2002 when All India Radio was trying to arrange a live broadcast of cricket commentary from West Indies, the PEX, the program executive of All India Radio at Delhi, didn't understand the pronunciation of their West Indians counterpart in Jamaica, Barbados and Trinidad and Guyana. So finally one day the Director General of Sports said, okay, call Ravi Chaturvedi, maybe he will be able to understand. So I was used to talk. Now that's where the problem comes, because the Afghan English, and I do not know how well educated they are, and the English of Phil Simmons, where the meeting point is not there. Phil Simmons is a talented player, no doubt about it. But let me tell you, coaching is one part. A teacher, I am a teacher. I teach a class of 30 students. From same teaching, one gets distinction, some get first class, some get second class, some get third class, some fail also. Phil Simmons can teach you the basics. But what I said earlier, the fire in the belly. These Afghan cricketers are braving the storm. They are fighting against the heavy odds. It is this which has enabled them to reach the top and qualify for the World Cup. And I am sure the same spirit and zeal and enthusiasm, maybe they spring some surprises in the World Cup, I won't be surprised.
And as you rightly pointed out, a strive-stone country now becoming at a status cricket playing country. Do you think this, other than the cricket happening in the subcontinent, the proximity to Pakistan sort of influenced the growth of cricket in Afghanistan?
In fact, I would like to bring out another, you have a question. You see, there is no doubt that there's a proximity. In fact, there's a common border. The Pashtun border is a common border between Afghanistan and Pakistan. In fact, that is the bone of contention also between the two countries. But I agree on that point that the proximity is there. But proximity does not solve everything. I mean, there's no doubt that the television today has played a very important role in making the youngsters learn the basic traits of the game. I will agree to that point that yes, maybe they have an access more to a Pakistan TV, and therefore they have been watching some of the matches. But let's not forget that the international cricket has not been played much in Pakistan last few years.
Yes.
It's been played in Dubai.
Yeah, true.
I am sure they must be watching the Indian TVs also, and they must have been watching the Indian players also, and IPL also. And therefore, this might have influenced them. It's my opinion. I'm not very candid about it, but this is my conjecture that maybe this is that. But let's not lose sight of the fact politically. India has been playing in the reconstruction of Afghanistan a very big role on the ground, and this in some way has also helped them to pick up the game also, because let there be strife, let there be terrorism, but if we have to play a game, let's play a game also. So that's, I mean, in Kashmir, look, they may not be playing in Srinagar, they play in Jammu. So If the people want to do something and they have some urge about it, that's what makes them play the game.
And Ireland also, there's some kind of a striking similarity because Ireland has also been Stone because for their own reasons and their proximity to England. So now Ireland has also become a tax-paying nation. You think that similarities, how does it work?
Yes, it is a sort of a similarity. Of course, they are the neighbors, and despite their political differences that they have. But let's not lose sight of the fact that unlike Afghanistan, whatever that problem is not that intensity as it was in Afghanistan. It flares up once in a blue moon. But if you go to the Ireland, the situation socially is more or less same. If you go to famous Trinity College in Dublin, which is a very famous international education institution as far as Ireland is concerned, it runs on the same basis as Cambridge or Oxford. It's a transplant of Cambridge or Oxford. So society more or less, the Irish society is more or less is the same as the English society. So what English society loved cricket, so they also loved cricket. English society loves sports, they promote sports, so they were also promoting sports. So that way it's some sort of a thing, but proximity of course helps. If my neighbor is good at something, I'll try to imitate him, and maybe that has also helped. And secondly, some of their players have been playing in English counties. You see, there is one very important factor which has helped Ireland attain a higher level of cricket excellence. That is, some of their players are playing in the English counties.
Oh yeah, okay.
The cricket in English counties is very competitive. It's a week-long and about 5-month-long arduous cricket, very testing cricket. So from there they have been a big gainer, which has not been the case in the case of Afghanistan. They are not playing in Pakistan League, they are not playing in Indian League, except that the IPL. So therefore, for Ireland to become a test cricket was not that big thing. But for Afghanistan to become a cricket nation or to qualify at the World Cup was like climbing the Hindu Kush.
So now coming back to Afghanistan, the two of their players, Rashid and Mujib, are now in the IPL. And there are also reports saying Mujib is being sort of mentored by India spinner Ashwin. So how do you think it's going to help not only these two players but also Afghan cricket in the long run?
I will take this question in a bigger perspective. I always feel that the West Indians are very talented players. They are natural cricketers. But when you look at their performance in IPL, whether it's not only Chris Gayle, look at Russell, look at Bravo. All these players, while playing in the IPL, their skill have developed enormously. These Afghan players, while playing in IPL, they will be really coming up against a competition. It's only when the level of competition goes up, your skills develop, you start thinking various ways and various combinations through which you will try to get a batsman out or you try to hit a bowler out of his length. These tricks of the trade you learn when the intensity of competition is more. These Afghan players are being subjected to a very high level of competition in IPL, and therefore they will learn a lot, they will improve a lot, and they will turn into some of the good world-class players in times to come.
June 14th is going to be the red letter day for Afghanistan when they play their first one-off test against India. But India will be missing Virat Kohli, who is going to be in England. So what is your sort of whole take and opinion on this test match and Virat Kohli not being a part of the Indian team?
This again is a part of two questions. One is a political, the other is a cricket. If you take it from political point of view, I said Virat Kohli should have played this match against Afghanistan. Afghanistan would have also felt very happy about it. But if you look purely from the point of view of the gains of the Indian cricket, I mean, since India is going to play a series in England, and last time it was found that actually the first part of the English summer is very bad. It's rainy most of the days, the sky is overcast, the situations are very challenging. The second part is much more conducive for cricket. And therefore, if the Indian players, Pujara is also playing, Ashwin is playing, it's good that some of our players are playing in the county cricket. So they become accustomed and tuned to the conditions which will prevail when they play there. So in the larger perspective, from the cricket point of view, yes, it's very gainful.
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing your thoughts and views on Afghanistan and Ireland coming as test playing countries.
Thank you. Well, I always think it's not talking of cricket, coming and talking on Trinity Mirror TV and talking to you. I mean, I feel that whatever little I have, if I'm able to share with the viewers here and contribute in some way to promote sports through Trinity TV, that's another role I want to play here so that we are able to project sports in another perspective, in a larger canvas, so that the people who are watching this become more sports conscious, the society becomes more involved in sports, so that we produce more sportsmen who can compete at international level and win laurels for the country.
Our pleasure to have you, sir. Thank you once again.
Thank you. Thank you.